Straw Hut Media.
Hello on the Rockers. Move over, Cher. There's a new Christmas album in town. On this special holiday party episode, we chat with Drag Race alum, recording artist, and entertainer Trinity the Tuck about the holidays, her career, and her debut Christmas album and book, Trinity Ruins Christmas, with my guest co-host, Broadway and drag guru, Josh Ferri, and me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass, let the drinks begin. It's On the Rocks. Ho, ho, ho.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy.
Lordy, lordy, lordy. Buttons and bows and pantyhose on the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at On the Rocks on Air, and on Facebook, On the Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email, book me for a pride, wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I'll show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. Also send us your guest questions. We got tons of questions today. The show's presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to our now over 330 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com for free. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the Outlet.tv app, Facebook Watch, streaming with pride on SVTV, and on Channel 31 in Boston. We proudly tape at UPN Go Studios, your one-stop place for podcasting. Okay, let's get the show on the road. We got some ho-ho-hos to fulfill. Returning to On the Rocks, Josh Ferri worked in the Broadway community for 12 years before moving to California. He began his career as a press agent for musicals like Spring Awakening and Xanadu, as well as the Public Theater. He then joined the team at Broadway.com before launching editorial content for Broadway Box, where he served as an editor for over 6 years, creating the popular and viral YouTube series Dancing Through My Resume, Broadway Bucket List, and 20 Questions in 2 Minutes. And as a drag queen newbie performing as Norma Lee High, he won his first drag competition ever for season 3 of Vanity's Drag Star Challenge in Palm Springs, and he has since been appearing around Southern California. Please welcome back to On the Rocks, Josh Ferri. Hello, Joshy Poo. Cheers, sweetie. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so, we're drag-tastic today. So I want to know, you literally are a porn newbie in this last year. What have you learned about drag now being behind the wig, so to speak?
My goodness. So much. I think the biggest takeaway, it's actually impossible to say. There's been so much in this last year to learn. I think more of the process of getting into drag and what that's actually like. You don't just kind of appear there ready to go. It's more than the physical transformation, there is a mental transformation that happens too. And that part I wasn't expecting as much.
All right. And you've been going at it. You've been going through like 1 performance a week to like 4 performances a week. And that must be exhausting too.
I mean, it's very thrilling. That kind of was the goal. I remember when I first started and I was like doing the contest once a week and being like, oh, I think the goal out here would be to do it 4 to 5 times a week in Palm Springs. And now, after only doing it for 6 months, very luckily, I've been embraced by the community there and been busy. It's been fun.
Well, we love Norma Lee High, and she is Norma Lee High. All right. There she is. She's gorgeous. All right. Well, let's bring on the lady of the hour. Trinity the Tuck, formerly known as Trinity Taylor, is a drag performer, recording artist, best known for competing in the 9th season of RuPaul's Drag Race, one of the winners of the 3rd season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, and also appearing in All-Stars 7 because she can't get enough Drag Race. She has released a chart-topping album, Plastic, starred in various music videos, Hello Taylor Swift's You Need to Calm Down, and has hosted a drag series, Love for the Arts. She is currently one of the 6 faces for Serve Vodka, and I've had all 6 faces, by the way. And she continues to perform all around the globe, currently touring with Drag Queen Christmas Tour, and just in time for the holidays, she has released her first Christmas album, a musical retelling of A Christmas Carol titled Trinity Ruins Christmas, and it has drag royalty Alaska Thunderfuck, Ginger Minch, Manila Luzon, Aria Cassadine, Kylie Sonique, Love, and of course Jimbo. And she's also released a book version of the musical with amazing illustrations by Hannah, and I hope I get the last name right, Chusit. And we're going to talk about that. And A Sister Mary Kuntz ornament? This is all in time for the holidays. Yes, Queen. We need to take a quick sneak peek at Trinity as Scrooge, by the way. Just a little peek.
I'll take your presents, I'll snatch your ham, I'll eat your cookies and take your man, I'll clog your chimney, I'll steal your tree, I'm vicious, don't mess with me.
She's a mean one, she's a bitch, you can call her Christmas witch. She's a bitch.
Get over here.
Big ol' bitch. She's a Scrooge witch. Sex appeal.
Please, could you spare?
All right, that is a little peek at Trinity playing. Getting a little Scroogey up in here for Trinity Ruins Christmas, but Christmas is not ruined, and it's a perfect gift for anybody that loves or hates Christmas or loves or hates Trinity. Please welcome Trinity the Tuck. So we were just talking, like, you are in your car. You are a nonstop bitch. Like, you are just entertaining. You never get a break.
Oh, girl, any moment I get, I am literally trying to do what I have to get done around the house. Right now, I'm home for literally, I leave tomorrow again to go back to tour. And I have to get stuff done. Errands, pay bills, laundry. Even a drag superstar has to be a housewife when she is home.
I love that. That's the crossover we need. Real Housewives and Drag Race. Like, where is that crossover?
I would love to do that. So let's pitch that.
Yes.
You can be the narrator of this season.
There you go. Are you listening, Andy Cohen? Okay. I want to go back in time a little bit. How does a fabulous little boy from Alabama get through being raised in conservative Alabama in a family of Southern Baptist to the workroom? How does a little boy get through that?
Well, I think a lot of alcohol, drugs, and sex, even at 13. I'm totally kidding. Any of that. I was a good kid. No, I think, it's just like my story is just like most queer people. We have to just get through our childhood. When you don't have an accepting family, or you grow up in a very religious home like I did, you just have to get through it. And I just wasn't sure the direction my life was going to take once I got on my own at 18. But when I found drag, I immediately knew that was my path, and I just followed that. And it's just snowballed into the monster that you see today.
The fabulous monster. You've talked openly about how you were raised in a lower middle class household, maybe didn't have the most money. What did that teach you about life now that you look back as the successful queen making the coins?
I think the biggest thing is to be grateful for what you have, and cherish memories, experiences, and people more than physical things. And I try to continue to do that. I have a very close-knit group of people that I surround myself with, and I cherish that more than any car, money, or gift, for sure.
What was that first kind of spark, entertainment-wise, that kind of inspired you to be like, you know what, I want to get into this business? Was it a movie you saw as a kid? Was it a music video? What was that?
I actually didn't think about drag or becoming an entertainer of any sort when I was a kid. I thought I was like, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a zoologist. That's what I was like. Oh, I love animals. I'm going to be a zoologist. Had no idea what that meant. I just had heard it before. It sounded fancy. And when I found drag, I was like, there's no way I would ever do it. It was like when I first turned 18, I went out and I saw a drag show and I was like, ew, I hate this. And one of my friends that was with me was like, you need to do it. You're like skinny and you'll be pretty and you'll do good. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And then they dared me to do it. there was a talent show for a Thursday night, and I did it, and I lost, and I did it till I won, and from there on, I just loved it.
I just love that your first reaction to drag was like, nope.
Yeah, no, seriously, there's just no way. This is because, when you grow up in a very conservative household and in town, and those kind of things are like kind of in the back of your mind. You're already, even being part of the queer community, you're already judging other people based off of how you were raised and what you were taught. And so that's what I thought. I thought all drag queens did drugs and alcohol, and that could be true to some, but it's definitely not true to all artists. It's an art form. Oh, this gentleman's in my video. I'm sorry. But I just realized once I started doing it, what all goes into it and how much work it is, and how exhilarating it was to be on stage and have people cheer for you. And that was the first time that I ever felt encouraged and like I was doing something that I was good at.
Trinity, you talked about starting as a competitor. Have you always been competitive? Because you did pageants before Drag Race and then obviously competed 3 times on that. Like, is competition something that fuels you?
I don't think as a kid it did. I did not enjoy doing sports as a kid. My grandparents definitely tried to force me into sports and, be that all-American, quote unquote, boy. And that just wasn't for me. And it wasn't until I got into drag and I started doing those competitions that I realized, I really enjoy competing. I enjoy doing these talent shows, and that fueled me for about a year. And that just snowballed into other aspects of competing, like pageants. And so after I started doing pageants, I really, really enjoyed it. It's a different ball game than Drag Race. And because it's very in a box, you have to follow rules and present exactly what they're looking for in all of the details. And so that was fun for me. It took a lot of discipline to get yourself to that expectation that the judges are looking for in each pageant. And each pageant's looking for something different. So it made me search through myself to find different aspects of what they were looking for. And that's what really made me polish my drag. And so when I got to Drag Race, I was definitely competitive because I was already groomed to be competitive. I was ready. I loved it.
Trinity, I wanted to comment. Your mother is beautifully memorialized as a victim of AIDS in Madonna's tour on screen. How did that come about, and what does it mean for you to be able to share your mother in such a big way?
Well, I had posted maybe a year or two ago on my social media about my birth mother dying from complications of HIV/AIDS. And there is an Instagram called the AIDS Memorial that contacted me and asked if they could repost my story onto their Instagram, because they post, that's all that they do. They repost memorialized pictures and stories so that it could be inspiration, or so people don't forget those that have died from this disease. And when Madonna was creating her tour, I assumed that her team contacted this Instagram to get in touch with all of these people because she wanted to use their stories to also memorialize through her tour. And I was one that was asked to be part of that for my mother. And so I, obviously was so grateful to have that put on her tour, because that's such an amazing thing to be part of, and to have my mother's memory out there for those to see was very heartwarming and very, I'm very grateful to Madonna and her team for asking me to have that story put on there.
That was fresh.
Just so special. Like, it literally gives me goosebumps. Okay.
Yeah, just the video clips. It was amazing. What like all of these photos just blown up, huge for everyone to see. And there's a lot of young people. Madonna crosses over generations and generations of people, and she has very young fans too that go to her concerts. So for a lot of people that didn't live through the AIDS crisis and that may not even know anyone who has died from the disease, got to see what that really was like during that time. Because now it's a little different. The disease is much more manageable. And yes, we still have it around, but it's much more manageable. It's not like it used to be. And so for people to see it was a huge epidemic and something that affected so many people's lives, not just those who died, but their families and their friends and their loved ones and the world. And so it was very emotional the first time I saw the clips of just all of these people whose lives were cut short. And it was just amazing that Madonna did that in their honor.
What a special thing to be able to share. Okay, we're going to do a little holiday quickie. Trinity, what's your favorite holiday tradition?
I think my favorite holiday tradition is buying gifts for people. I love gift giving. That's my favorite thing to do. I don't love getting gifts as much as I love giving them. And I just like the excitement of it all, wrapping presents and having people unwrap the presents and seeing their face light up when they get something that they wanted and maybe something they didn't expect.
Like Trinity Ruins Christmas under the Christmas tree, right?
Oh, I mean, definitely get that. The book is amazing. Well, I'm sure we'll get into that.
Oh, yes, we definitely are.
I've been tagged so many posts that fans have bought and just love it. So.
Yes, absolutely. Your favorite holiday song and your least favorite holiday song?
My favorite holiday song, obviously, like, you can't go wrong with Mariah Carey. I mean, outside of my music, of course.
Yes, of course.
But if we're talking about mainstream, I would say Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas is number one, obviously. My least favorite, I hope I don't get stormed by her fans, and I absolutely love her, but I'm not a huge fan of the viral Lady Gaga Christmas song. I feel like it's so corny. I don't know. I don't like it.
Girl, her monsters are going to come for you.
They are. And I love her. I think she's amazing. I just don't like that song.
Okay.
I think it's definitely not the direction of her music now. It seems like very early Gaga. And there's nothing wrong with the very early Gaga, but she was very gimmicky.
Yes.
And not as sophisticated as she is now. And I think that song reflects that time period. I would love to hear more music that she produces now, because like Christmas music, because she's evolved so much. She's an amazing artist.
I mean, that's a very fair point. And as artists, we all evolve.
Like
we all change.
Jazzy Gaga?
Yeah. Jazzy Gaga. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to hear a Jazzy Gaga Christmas album. I bet it would be amazing. She has the perfect voice for that.
100%. 100%. Okay, we're going to talk a little Drag Race. Season 9 of Drag Race. That's when the world got to meet you at large. What was it, do you think, about your audition tape that got you onto the show?
I tell this to everybody that asks. I think there's two things, and I'll never know for sure. Obviously, they're never going to tell you the casting. You don't even talk to the casting except for a few times, but they would never tell you why they're choosing you. But I think there was two reasons why they chose me the year that they chose me. One being, unfortunately, Pulse had just happened, and I was former Miss Pulse, and I'm from Orlando, or I live in Orlando. So that was a storyline that they wanted to show, I guess. And then 2, I had beaten Alyssa Edwards and Eureka in a national pageant the year before. And that was definitely brought up in season 9, especially with Eureka.
Yes.
So I think those 2 things were key for me to get on. I think that, there's 1,000 pageant queens, and they audition every year. And I can only assume those are the 2 things that made my audition tape stand out differently than others, for sure. I mean, aside from the fact that I'm super talented and gorgeous and deserving. Yeah.
Well, and the pageant world is.
Do you audition a lot, people?
I auditioned 3 times.
Have you auditioned a lot?
Yeah, I auditioned 3 times. So I auditioned twice, never heard anything. Then they had contacted me to audition for season 8. And I told them no. I was like, I've already spent a lot of money getting ready for this national pageant that I'm about to go do. And it happens at the same time that you guys are filming. And I can't waste that money. So I went and did that pageant. Luckily for me, I won. And then that following year, I auditioned again. And that's when I was cast.
Girl, who has the balls to tell Drag Race, no, you can wait?
Well, I think if I would have known what I know now, I probably would have just went, because you make so much money if you do it right, versus as a local queen, what I was making, the difference in funds is just crazy. And so I probably, if I would have known now what then I would have definitely went on. But I think I went on the right season. The season 9 is epic.
Yes.
It has an epic cast. There's a lot of firsts from that season. It's also one of the last seasons that I feel has that original feel to the season, unlike some of the newer seasons. And it had the epic finale, which was the first ever lip sync off for the crown.
How did you kind of have to shift? Because we know pageants are way different than appearing on Drag Race, but it is still a competition. What did Drag Race filming that first season, what did that teach you most about the industry? And how did you kind of have to shift from the pageant competition to this type of competition?
Going in, I thought, I'm really polished. I am good at competitions. I'm immediately going to win. I was like, I'm going to win. And when you get there, it's totally different than a pageant. It's not a pageant at all. They're not, yes, they want polish, but like, for instance, they cast certain girls who aren't as polished, who they love. And so it's not necessarily about that. It's about your journey. It's about what you offer as an artist and how that fits into competition. And I had to adapt quickly, or, I wasn't going to last very long. So I tried not to take myself too seriously in the challenges, specifically with comedy, because I knew that if I did, I would be standing in my way.
Speaking of comedy challenges, I mean, doing it 3 times, you create characters that then you use again. Like in the book, we see Lucy the Devil and Sister Mary Coombs, 2 characters you created for the show.
And an ornament.
When you go back on, but when you go back on, are you aware and cognizant of, let me create something here that I can then use again later? Or are you just in the moment seeing where it goes?
Definitely in the moment. I'm not one of those queens that tries to have like a catchphrase or a gimmick that I'm gonna use later on, because in reality you don't know what's gonna be catchy and what's not. And every single time that I've said something on the show, I never remember what I said afterwards. So like season 9, my big catchphrase then was, I call shade. Peppermint's confused. I'm confused. We're all fucking confused. Where
are the jokes? When was that?
Yeah, I think Where Are the Jokes was in All Stars 4.
All-Star?
I Live is in All-Star 7. So you like I don't remember saying any of that. And you don't see what's gonna live on with the fandom until afterwards. And so, Stanky the Starfish, my Sister Mary Coons, my Snatch Games, you just don't know what's gonna connect with the audience until it does. And then, once that happens, your fans that you build based off of these things, they want to see again. And so I try to incorporate those every once in a while for different things. And so, yeah, I was like, with this project, I want to have a couple of hidden things here and there. In the book, in one of the scenes of the illustration, Stanky the Starfish is actually the star on top of the Christmas tree. And then the fairy of Christmas Present is based around my Leslie Jordan Snatch Game.
Yes.
So there's little hidden gems throughout the story of the musical and the book that you'll find from different seasons that I've been on.
Trinity, we see you post thirst traps on social media as a boy. We see skin, we see booty, we see more booty.
That booty.
That booty
Yeah.
for days. Did you, growing up in Alabama, did you ever have any issues in your mind dealing with the feminine and masculine parts of yourself?
Definitely. I feel like I was very effeminate as a kid, and afraid of that, did not want that, tried to be as covert and introverted as possible, keep to myself so that way I didn't allow people to see that as much as possible. And because I grew up in a small town, we didn't even have a red light. It was like there was nothing. And my high school was small, and if you didn't play sports as a boy, if you didn't do cheerleading as a girl, then you were not popular, and people made fun of you. And so I tried to be in the shadows as much as possible because I was very tiny and effeminate, and I didn't want to draw attention to myself. It wasn't until, I moved out and got into the city of Birmingham, which is like outside of my hometown, that and connected with the queer community there, that I was actually able to start being myself.
Okay, it's time for another little holiday quickie. Your favorite holiday food and your least favorite holiday food.
Oh, my favorite holiday food is cornbread dressing, not to be mistaken by stuffing.
Okay.
And I not to offend either of you, but if you do stuffing at the holidays, it's disgusting. And, it is not the same. Cornbread dressing is a Southern dish that is delicious, and I love it. It's my favorite thing, with cranberry sauce. My least favorite holiday food would probably be fruitcake. I don't understand.
I don't think anybody actually eats it. I've never met one person that actually eats fruitcake.
I don't understand how that is good. No.
That was fresh.
Okay, the worst holiday gift you ever received.
Worst holiday gift I ever received. I mean, it would probably have to be something as a kid. Maybe like socks or something, because, as a kid, you want toys constantly. But I don't view presents like that, because I just, it's not that big a deal to me. I don't look forward to people buying me gifts, and I actually try to encourage people not to. So I'm never really disappointed with gifts. But as a kid, maybe like definitely with like socks or something. But again, I grew up, very lower middle class. So whatever I got, I was thankful for.
That was such a sweet answer.
I mean, it's true. I'm never really disappointed with gifts, especially now I can buy whatever I want.
Right.
So, if I get a gift that, it's the thought that counts. It really is. So I just enjoy, with the holidays, I just enjoy spending that time with friends and family for sure.
All right, Trinity, we're going to play Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Okay. Santa Claus, the Grinch, Hermie the Misfit Elf.
Okay. Santa Claus, I would marry because he's like, he's like sugar daddy. He's going to give you the gifts year round.
He's got real estate.
Yes. He's got the elves to wait on you. He's got the sleigh and the reindeer that can transport you wherever you're going. I don't mind being his side piece.
Okay.
So he can be my sugar daddy. And then fuck, I guess would be the Grinch because he's angry. And so there's some built up tension there. And maybe I'd be turned on by all the green hair. I'm not really usually into hair, but maybe this is a new fetish.
I bet you chose the bear over the twink.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love a good twink too, but I'd probably break that little thing in half. You're talking about my ass. I don't think he would survive.
So that's how you would kill him.
It would probably kill him anyway.
Death by ass.
Yeah.
That's the way to go this holiday season.
Hey,
we love
it could be worse.
Asphyxiation.
Josh, did you have any other questions about Drag Race? Because I know you are the Drag Race super fan.
Yeah, I do love Drag Race. So you were talking about watching the seasons. When you were watching All Stars 4, as we all were, and it was very apparent Trinity the Tailor is owning this competition. And you were Trinity the Tuck, yeah. And I will always remember that blue gown you wore with the China pattern, like iconic. You guys didn't film a double win. So as this was happening, were you like, am I about to win this? Is this going to happen? And then was it a huge shock when they edited the two together?
I think, and this is my honest feelings of what I was having there. And me and Monet have discussed this too. So this is not something that she doesn't know. I personally thought I was the sole winner. I felt like being there competing, I slayed the hell out of the season.
You did?
Because up until Manila was eliminated, Manila was, to me, my biggest competition. And when she went home, we had the same exact track record at that point, except for she was eliminated and I wasn't. So we had the same amount of wins. I was in the bottom once, she was in the bottom once, and so on and so forth. And so she got eliminated. After that, there was nobody else that was a clear front runner other than me. And that's not me being cocky. That's just how I felt. So going into the finale, I really felt like I was the winner. Now, the lip sync, I do, Monet is an incredible performer. So the lip sync, I knew she was really good at the lip sync. And I was exhausted at that point, like physically exhausted. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the crowning, because with Drag Race, you just never know. Like sometimes they'll crown the clear winner. Sometimes you think somebody's going to win and it's somebody else. And, after watching the season, as a third party, Monet did much better than I had thought she had done, because you don't get to see everything because you're competing alongside, not watching. And so once I was watching the season, I was like, I don't know, because she was incredible. And so at the end, I feel like I beat her in the season, and I think she beat me in the lip sync. So I think the tie was very much warranted. And and at the moment, we both thought they should have just picked one of us. We both thought at that time she would have rather have just crowned me, and I would have rather them just crown her rather than the tie. But now looking back on it, we love it. We both laugh about it. We love it. It's unique. our reigns did not cross over. We both got our own money. And I say this every chance I get. The show's not really about winning. It really isn't. And when you can celebrate more than one queer person, especially at that time of the political climate where it was very racially charged, to have a white person and a black person equal was super important. And not only that, I was totally valid and warranted for sure.
That was very well put and very well said. Trinity, we got this question from one of your... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I was going to say, how was the third time in the workroom different? When you walked in and everyone's a winner, how was it different than the other two times?
Well, walking in, we saw that Jinx was there. We knew Jinx was going to be there. The Drag Race alum is quite small, especially with the winners. Like there's only a handful, so we all talk, and so we kind of knew who was going to be there. And so walking in, we all knew Jinx was going to win. One, Jinx is incredible. She is incredible and totally won All-Star 7. But also, Drag Race, the production, loves Jinx. So we already knew she won. So I think the pressure, and also that nobody was going home, the pressure of not going home and already knowing she's going to win, there's no pressure. So you go in more relaxed and ready to just have a good time and show what you can do. So the pressure was a little off. It wasn't as much tension. So it allowed all of us to just have fun with it, which I think translated to a better competition and made it more entertaining for the audience.
100%.
Did you have the most fun on winners compared to the three?
Absolutely. 100%. Because not only is there no pressure, you also know those girls more because you've toured with them for several years at this point, and it just was more fun. It was just there was no like outcast. There was no like fighting, not real fighting really, and so it just allowed us all to be the best that we each individually could be, and then the judges just had to choose each week from there.
Trinity, we got this question from one of your fans. Do you ever feel overshadowed as a person by Trinity, the persona?
No, I am totally okay with Trinity taking the spotlight and Ryan not. I'm actually very socially awkward and I have social anxiety. So in big crowds, I have to sometimes force myself to get through things. But in doing Drag Race and doing meet and greets has definitely helped train me on how to handle those situations. But I'm an introvert. I love being at home. I'm a homebody. I like my alone time. So Trinity can have all of that, sweetie. I don't want any of that.
Okay.
Has Trinity's fame made it harder or easier for Ryan to date?
I don't think either way. I think that there's a trade-off because in the queer community, especially before Drag Race, being a drag queen was not appealing to majority of the dating scene. But I wasn't known, so unless I told someone, they might not know. Now, Drag Race has kind of made drag more appealing to our community. So, especially if you're famous, more people are more likely to be into you. But with that, you have to look at people's intentions. Like, what is their intention? Are they interested in you because they're interested in you, or they're interested in you because of what they can get out of you, or your fame, or your persona.
Yeah. Okay, Trinity Ruins Christmas, based on a song you put out a couple of years ago. How does one song lead to this mega musical?
Funny, that's a great story. So with Christmas music, it comes around every year. And so a couple of years ago, I came out with this song called Trinity Ruins Christmas that was like a parody of The Grinch. And I was contemplating how we could revisit the song and make it fresh and different to re-release this year. And we were throwing out different ideas, and I was like, well, what if we made it a ballad? Because I just think it's so fun when a pop song gets turned around and becomes a ballad. One of my favorite examples of this is My Humps turned into a ballad by Alanis Morissette. One of my favorite, because it's so camp, but it's so serious. So
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so good. And so I was like, well, maybe if we try to turn it into a ballad, it would be kind of cool. And then it turned from a ballad to maybe let's do it in a musical style. And then from there, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like it could be Scrooge.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballed from let's do this one song to let's create a musical around a drag version of A Christmas Carol.
Wow.
And the illustrations in the book are so fantastic. It's Tim Burton meets Dr. Seuss meets Charles Dickens. Mm-hmm. This was Hannah's first illustrated book. Is that correct?
Yeah. So Hannah, I discovered Hannah through my Drag Race journey. She tends to love to illustrate looks from different drag artists from Drag Race. And she did a couple of looks for me, of me, and tagged me on All Stars 4 and then a lot through All Stars 7. And I just was a fan. I just loved her art. I thought it was very interesting, and she's very talented. And so when we were creating the book, I wanted to hire either someone queer or someone who was an ally of drag and Drag Race and myself. And Hannah came to mind immediately because she's just so talented and unique. And her style lends itself to the story and what I wanted to convey. And what I did was I just told her, hey, look, this is the scene. I set the scene and I was like, go for it. You do what you think with these characters in this scenario. I really wanted her to have her own input as an artist, and was more of a collaboration than her just doing the artwork. But yeah, this is her first ever full book.
Wow.
But she's done a lot of illustrations for merchandise and for our artwork in general in the past.
That was fresh.
I'd have to tell you, the musical is so smart. The lyrics are, yes, they're hilarious, but it's so smartly put together. And the more you listen to the album, I mean, I've been listening to it on repeat. It has heart to it as well. It's not just drag queen musical. It does tell, a Christmas Carol story, but there's a lot of feeling to it as well. It's so well put together. What was it like finishing that and being like, wow, we made a musical album?
Well, I had a fantastic team. Brew, the producer who helped with the album, put in a lot of work with this album with his team as well. He has a team around him, and he's fantastic. And I'm actually working on new music for the new year that will come out sometime next year because I just enjoyed working with him. And also Jason Snow, who helped edit my story, because I wrote the story and then he really, really went in and made it a full-on masterpiece. And together we just created this amazing book and album. And we had to do the book first before we could even do the album, because Drew needed a direction on what kinds of songs and what characters needed to be in each song to be able to tell the full story. And so it was a process. It was a big project and a big collaboration, and my team was just incredible. If you notice, the book is Sister Mary Kuntz, like a chronicles of Sister Mary Kuntz. So my intent is to do a few more illustrated books based around Sister Mary Kuntz and her stories.
Oh, we're ready for that.
Yeah, and it won't be all Christmas. I think this is the Christmas, one of her Christmas stories. But the thing about Sister Mary Kuntz is she's a nun, but she's not ever read the Bible. You know, this is a story that she's saying is biblical, that comes from the Bible. But
that's what I love about her. She's like,
yeah, she's delusional. She's delusional. So I can't wait to tell other stories, like maybe the true story of the Virgin Mary, or
not so virgin.
Yeah, hello, or maybe David and Goliath, or who knows what it's going to be.
I love that.
But it will be a great time for sure in the future.
I want to share with the audience.
I imagine you have a pretty deep Rolodex of your Drag Race sisters. How did you decide who to call for this project?
I've worked with Alaska on a couple of musical projects, and she's always fantastic to work with. And when thinking of God, I knew I wanted God to be in female form. And when I think of drag, I was like, who do I think is like God of drag? And that's, to me, Alaska. She's so multifaceted and talented and accomplished. And I just knew she would have fun with it. And I'm really good with friends with Manila. I wanted her on the project. I loved, this is another thing. So Jimbo's character in the musical is based off of her Snatch Game character. And so I immediately thought, when we were having Tiny Tammy, I was like, I want that based around Jimbo. So I immediately contacted her for that. And then, the other characters were, when we were thinking about who to cast, I wanted people that I connected with. I'm good friends with Kylie. I thought she did a great job as the young Trinity. And R.E.B. Cassadine, I've known for years and years and years in the pageant world. And I wanted to give somebody that was not a Drag Race girl an opportunity. And she's an amazing vocalist, and she has a lot of heart in her voice. And I knew she'd be perfect for In the Dark. And so just everybody just came together. Ginger, I've known for so long, and the character of Kneel Down is just perfect for her, because I know she loves Ursula, and that was kind of one of the references, even though it's a male character, it was kind of one of the references for that villain. And I wanted her raspy attitude for it, because I knew she would be perfect. So everybody just fit perfect. It was just great.
And Trinity, in other interviews, you've talked about one of your favorite tracks is Light in the Dark with Aria Cassadine. I just want to give the audience just a little snippet of this. And this is part of the heart that I'm talking about in the musical, because this song touched me. And I want the audience to hear just a little bit of Light in the Dark.
Heal from the worst of your scars. The sun will always shine after the rain. Love will always save you from the pain. So look for the light in the dark, 'cause it's never too far. Look at what you've been given.
Just a little snippet, because I want everybody to listen to that. But This song is just so beautifully done, and it adds a lot of heart to the overall piece. And like I said, I've been listening to this on loop, and every time I listen to it, I discover a new little nugget and something else that I really, really, really enjoy. Trinity, tell everybody where they can listen to the musical and where they can get the book, because you can also download an e-copy of the book as well.
Yes, you can get the book if you want a hard copy. It's very well made. Signed copies are on my website. You can get the Sister Mary Kuntz Christmas ornament as well on my website at trinitythetuck.com.
Limited edition, by the way, so get it now.
Yes, it's very limited. We won't probably produce these again. But the musical, if you want to listen to it, you can stream it on any of your favorite musical platforms. It's on Pandora, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of your major musical platforms, and you just stream it. You want to listen to it from the beginning to the end because it tells a story. And I'm telling you, you're gonna have different songs that are your favorites for different reasons, and all of them have a special place for sure.
100%. Okay, Trinity, if you have to have a full makeout session under the mistletoe with a fellow Drag Race alum, who is it?
Oh my gosh. There's so many attractive drag queens. Who do I want to kai with? I don't know. Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. There's so many cute ones. Let me just say, Shea Coulee, I have a lot of, she's one of my really good friends. I have a lot of memories with her, and so I have a good connection. And girl, she has big, beautiful, voluptuous lips. I bet you she is the best kisser and the best ass eater. So Shea Coulee, I know that you and Dan are together, and if you ever need a sister to kai with.
You heard it here first. I love that. Okay, Trinity, you are touring on the Christmas Drag Queen Tour. You've been touring all month. What's it like sharing a dressing room and traveling with these queens all over the place? Do you have any diva stories for us?
Not this season. I've done many tours with Murray and Peter Presents with the Drag Queen Christmas.
Yes.
And usually every year there's at least one diva. But this year has been so smooth, and I have enjoyed touring with all of these girls. I looked forward to touring with Crystal Method and Heidi in Closet the most because we just filmed a horror comedy in South Africa.
Called Slay, right?
Yes, it's called Slay.
Slay, hey!
And we'll be out this upcoming year on
Tubi.
Shoot. I can't, I'm blanking out right now. But just keep up with me on social media to find out where it's at. But I enjoyed them so much doing that project that I was looking forward to seeing them again on the tour because I hadn't seen them since we filmed, and it just so good, so such a good time with them.
And I do believe Slay will be available on Tubi, right?
Tubi, yes. That's thank you so much.
All right. Before we go, Trinity, next year you turn a big age number. It's to be celebrated. What do you want to accomplish in the next year before that birthday?
I say this all the time. I have accomplished more than I ever thought as a kid I would. I never knew that I would have been able to travel around the world multiple times. I've been to every continent except for Antarctica. I, have met so many amazing people, fans, and done so many amazing things, movies, TV shows, music. It's just been incredible. I don't think there's anything else that I could say that I would ever want. I think that would be selfish of me, but I'm just hoping to just keep Trinity going and bringing her around the world with different projects, and whatever will come may be. And I'm always looking for a new adventure. So whatever new can come along.
I love it. It has been such an absolute treat to get to chat with you from the intimacy of your car, by the way.
I know. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
I love that, though. I absolutely love that. Josh, do you have any last questions for Trinity?
I did. How is Trinity the Queen now different than Trinity that we met in season 9?
I think that Trinity Taylor from season 9 took herself very serious because that's how she was cultivated in the drag community, and pageants make you take things very serious because it is serious. And going through 3 seasons of Drag Race opened me up to not taking things so serious and being silly and leaning into my humor more, and which has allowed me to have more fun. And I think that now I'm much more silly and much more multifaceted as an entertainer than I was on season 9.
I love it. Trinity, where do you want everybody to find and follow you?
You can find me on all my social media at Trinity the Tuck, and go check out my touring schedule and all the goodies on my website at trinitythetuck.com, and sometimes on Grindr.
I love that. And
I got to do these meet and greets.
Well, you put the meat in meet and greets. I'll tell you that. Trinity, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the holiday. I know you're super busy, and I know you're heading over the pond soon as well. Have a safe trip. And thank you for sharing so much with us, and thank you for giving us Trinity Ruins Christmas this holiday season.
Oh, thank you both for having me on your show, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
For sure. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And Josh, where can everybody find and follow you?
Josh Ferri on Instagram, or my drag persona, Normally High, which I update with more often.
Thank you. And I wish you were here in the studio with us, but you're visiting family on the East Coast. So happy holidays to you and your family.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. That was our holiday show here on The Rocks. It's always a grab bag of fun here every week. A big thank you to our engineer, Tony Sweet, and our social media clip editor, Alexis Mendez. And I just have to take this opportunity. I want to thank our audience. I know during the holidays, we want to give special thanks to those around us. So I want to thank the audience for tuning in and keeping this show going. I really, really appreciate it. I wish a happy new year to everybody. And until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy, and if you drink, stay tipsy. This has been another episode of On The Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Find everything On The Rocks for free at ontherocksradioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.